There are issues happening on a daily basis. What are these issues? Controversies from the north to the south, to the west, to the east, within and outside the country. These issues keep coming because of disagreements, because of misunderstanding, because they are issues. Today we will be looking at several issues, but we'll pick two out of it. The first issue that we will be discussing today is what has been in the mouth of almost every Nigerian, and that is the land grabbing issue between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the naval officer, Yerima. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have reacted. Some have said it is time for the FCT minister to apologize. But do you see the FCT minister apologizing? Some people said, well, that land is not supposed to be there for certain reasons, and that the FCT minister was carrying out his due assignment. But these are turns, these are twists to this situation. Then beyond that, we have not settled the situation, the threat coming from the president of the United States of America, the person of Donald Trump. Donald Trump have said Nigeria is a country where there is Christian genocide, and of course he has labeled Nigeria to be a country of disgrace. And of course we heard that there is diplomatic talks going on, but then what is the situation like? These issues have actually taken over the social media. It has taken over the discussion of people from the north to the south, to the east, and to the west. All the geopolitical zones of Nigeria are discussing and, of course, trying to find a slim line and, of course, the answer to the many questions in the hearts of Nigerians. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is The Issues. We'll return as we get into the discussion with two great discussants here in the studio today. We will return after this break. Stay with us. Well, I have my guest already seated in the studio, and joining me on the issues this evening is Elder Doctor, all right, Bartholomew Agbechenu. It's good to have you join us on the program, Elder.
I'm happy for you having me this afternoon.
All right. We also have to my right, Abdurrahman Aliagan. It's good to have you join us in this very wonderful discussion today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Oh, all right. We will be looking at these issues. Well, it has been a thing of concern, as a matter of fact, that Nigerians are still wondering. A lot of people are asking questions. People are saying different things, and so many things as regards the reaction that came from the land grab controversy, where Wike had a clash with a naval officer. Well, what do you think of the whole scenario?
Yeah, that matter honestly is a matter of policy and that of law. Abuja, as it is, without any doubt, is under Minister Wike. But you know, in Nigerian context, for us or for people to believe we are working, it must come maybe under a controversial issue, which is needless. Abuja Geographical Information System, AGIS, is there to verify who owns the land. And I want to believe strongly that this is within the beck and call of the minister. Possibly, minister might have done his own work and discovered that the land maybe was not properly allocated, or maybe are under issue of misallocation, or fraudulent. As characterized the issue of land in Abuja. But to me, all information that has to do with the land in FCT, it should be within the beck and call of a minister. And knowing fully well that that land is involving a high-profile person, the next thing to me is to go to the document, and you can easily write a letter to this very particular person.
But they said the land doesn't have a document, because Wike is told the naval officer that he doesn't have the document.
Yes, if the land doesn't have a document, and somebody is occupying it, it doesn't necessarily for the minister to go to that land. A letter to at least there is CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff is there. If the land is being occupied by a known person, and there is a head of that system, the next thing is to write a letter to that person, query the allocation of that land. It is person that has name, the person has served the country for a particular time and claiming the ownership of that land. And the moment that the document does not reflect or does not show that the land belongs to him, the government can take over that land without making noise.
But don't you think that's exactly what the Minister of FCT is supposed to do?
Yes.
Because he's a representative of the government.
Now the minister visited the site, and he discovered that the site was being secured by a military personnel. To me, you can ask that question, but not necessarily creating scene to an extent that minister is using foul language on the personnel. And in that is a regimented system. Military, they follow order. No, apart from the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, no any other person can give command to a personnel, a uniform person. So when you see that a situation of that in that place is under a secured by under security control, the next thing is approach the system. This land has not been allocated to anybody, but so person is laying claim to it. Then revocation that stops it. But for that, as
Abdul, let's call spade a spade.
Yeah.
Don't you think because you said if the only person that can give command to the military is the president, but don't you think the FCT minister is a representative of the president at that point?
Yes.
As someone be appointed by the president?
Yes, agreed. The FCT minister is the representative of Mr.
So he's
President.
acting in that capacity.
Acting in that capacity for somebody at that caliber, a minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria, telling somebody that is a fool, that is belittling. So it doesn't necessarily have to go to that level.
So the only place you have issues is where is the word that was used. That's where you have an issue?
That is it.
All right,
and
let me get to...
Secondly, to revoke that land or taking ownership of that land, as in officially, legally, I don't think, if that land has not been allocated before, I doubt if anybody will come and claim the ownership of that land.
All right, let me get to the elder statesman. Elder, as it is, it's obvious, all right, that some people are saying the word that was used is where the issue is. Apart from the word that was used, do you see the FCT minister acting within the confine and the jurisdiction of his office as the FCT minister who is in charge of lands in the Federal Capital Territory? Apart from the words that he used, like he said.
What has led to the viral spread of the issue is the word he used. This is not the only issue at SCD. There are several other issues more serious than that one of the naval personnel, but nobody hears anything about it because the issue of the outburst of insult has not emanated. As a matter of fact, if you are the representative of the CNC, you must compose yourself well. Wike is a disgrace to the whole Nigeria from the way the outburst showed. He spoke like an admiral, like a motor park tout. Did he take a sapele water before he went to engage that naval personnel, a person of his caliber? He had been a two-term governor in his state, and right now a first-class minister, but he has no character. If you saw the video of when he was before the naval personnel, he was fuming to fight, saying that if you like, I can come out your teeth, I can remove your teeth. Wike is a national disgrace. He owes the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
But don't you think
apology.
the reaction, don't you think the reaction, because he had said that he had a press briefing today, all right, where he said some directors were actually meant to enforce, all right, the whatever assignment, but those military officers stopped them, or maybe that they were manhandled according to the press briefing he had today. Don't you think that's part of the provocation from the minister?
Then you as a minister, you would be provoked to come and fight. Is that the orientation? Was that the orientation given to you? Did he not go to Senate Did the Senate not to screen him? When he was before the Senate, would he tell the Senate that if I am on my job duty and anybody stands on my way, I will hit the person? Would he tell the Senate like that? What issue of provocation is FCT, his private land? He was carrying out an official assignment, and you should comport yourself to be able to send signal to Nigeria that you are representing. Wike demands apologizing to the whole Nigerians. That's number one. He should also apologize to Tinubu that appointed him, because he has disappointed Tinubu. He should also apologize to the military. What was he thinking about? That young officer should fear him? What Wike did not know was that young officer was not answerable to him. He was answerable to his direct bosses. As a matter of fact, as a lieutenant in the Nigerian Navy, it's an equivalence of a captain in the army. And I make bold to tell you that as that young officer is, if Tinubu gives him an order and a major in the Nigerian army gives him an order, he will abandon Tinubu and obey the major. But
Tinubu is the commander-in-chief of armed forces.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That is their orientation. He is under the purview of the hierarchy of operation. He does not have anything to do with Tinubu. Tinubu is a political figure. He is a military man. He is not a politician. The person that Tinubu should deal with is the CDS. The CDS is a politician. It's a political post. Or the chief of naval staff. The chief of naval staff is a political figure. Tinubu could speak to him. But all other people that are in the military, they are not politicians.
So in this whole situation,
as they are not politicians, they don't understand any political language.
So in this whole situation now, are you expecting the president to make a statement? Is it necessary?
For sure. His silence is suggestive of complicity in the act. His silence is suggestive of complicity in the act. He should have come out before Buratai came out to condemn the action of Wike. Tinubu should be the first person. I am disappointed in what you have done. He is claiming that he is representing the president. Now, the rhetorical question before him is, if it were Tinubu before that army officer, would Tinubu tell that army officer, that naval officer that is a fool? Calling him a fool. And that naval officer did something that pleased almost everybody. I thought I was the only one. When Wike was trying to intimidate him, he dressed closer to Wike. He dressed closer to Wike.
So you're happy about that?
Very, very.
Don't you think that is disrespectful?
Disrespectful
to an elder and a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
If I were that naval officer, I would have dressed him with a deadly slap.
Are you sure
and
that
nothing will happen?
But that's going to amount to assault.
Which assault?
Because a younger officer, irrespective, at least
Wike did not respect himself.
But age is there.
Age for what? Wike did not respect himself. I have told you several indices that would have led to Wike composing himself. He had been a two-time governor of his state. And right now, he is a prime minister. Let me call him a prime minister, a first-class minister, but no character.
All right, hold it.
No character.
Hold it there.
He thinks Abuja is rivers.
All right, hold it for a minute. Let me get to Abdurrahman. From what he has said, he commended the reaction of the young naval officer. But then the issue of response from the federal government, we've not had any response from the federal government. Nigerians on their own part are saying he should apologize to Nigerians and to the military. But we've not seen that yet. We've not seen that happen. So what do you think?
No, that has happened. If you read the blueprint of today, you will see it there that federal government has directed the necessary authority to investigate that land.
Yes.
So that one has happened. And when we say federal government,
Is that the best
No,
statement?
investigation is different from apology. Yes, investigation is going on, but despite the fact that investigation is going on, apology we are talking about. The investigation is still going on. But this thing, Wike should come down from the top of the mountain where he is and serve Nigeria with humility. He is not greater than anybody in Nigeria. Wike is not greater than me.
All right, hold on for a minute. Let him land now.
now it's a process, you know, and when things like this happens, there must be reaction. And there is nothing government can do other than first set up an investigative panel to investigate the matter. Then president may come out to lend his own voice, or the minister may deem it fit to apologize to the president, the military, even to that guy.
But do you see the caliber of the FCT minister, all right, from the reaction of yesterday? Is it possible for him to apologize to the young naval officer?
You know, the point
What's the possibility?
You know, the point is, it's not a personal thing. He was appointed minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's not self-appointment. So, and if you look at what is going on viral, you discover that it was backlash on him. No, I doubt, unless some people that they are politically inclined in their comment, thousands of tweets were condemning his act. And the point is that for him not, maybe he doesn't want to apologize. It will tell so many things about him.
But do you think tweet will matter to the FCT minister in any way?
You see,
even if there are 1 million tweets, do you see it as something that matters to the FCT minister?
It's supposed to matter. But if it doesn't matter to him, that means is what do I call it? Is not representing Nigerian, and is not representing the Mr. President that appointed him. Because you have to gauge your activity, you have to gauge even your administration by those tweets, because Nigerians are speaking. Good and fine, Wike is doing a fantastic job in FCT. Yeah, even if you visited Port Harcourt, where he was governor, 2 times governor, he did very fantastic. But it is the issue of character.
All right, hold it there. I think everyone seems to be hammering on the issue of character now. So as it is, it's obvious that both guests in the studio are of the opinion that one thing is lacking right now, all right, as it is being said by my guests, and that's the issue of character. Looking at the reaction of the Minister of FCT during the altercation between him and the young naval officer, as it has to do with the land grabbing controversy. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at another very vital issue, and that's the threat coming from the President of the United States. A lot of reactions coming up. The federal government and every other political office holder have a say and perspective to that threat or statement, as it may be, coming from the President, Donald Trump of United States of America. We'll return on the issue once again after this break. Stay with us.
What?
Stand by. All right, as it is, we are getting into the second conversation right now. Well, Donald Trump have described Nigeria as a country of a particular concern, and that's not all. Other statements have been made concerning Nigeria as a country. Why? Because he said there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. From everybody's angle of Nigerians and people at the diaspora, and even countries of the world, there have been reactions coming. Now we are still looking at reactions coming and perspective of various Nigerians. As a matter of fact, let me get to Elder as it is. That statement by Donald Trump, a lot of Nigerians have queried it to say, well, if you're saying there is Christian genocide, it's not just Christians that are being killed, as the case may be, in Nigeria, that are losing their lives. But why will you just say Christian genocide? And of course, a lot of people said Donald Trump wants to attack Nigeria. It was on some of the papers. And even up to now, if you go on the internet or you get on the street and ask people, that's what some people are actually preaching, that Donald Trump said. What do you think about that statement? Nigeria, number one, as a country of a particular concern because of Christian genocide and the issue of attacking or maybe invading, as some people may put it, Nigeria as a nation.
Now, Nigeria as a whole, what we are usually known for is hiding the truth. You see the truth, you are trying to hide it. You are trying to parboil it. Donald Trump is not a Nigerian, and you cannot confuse him. Before he came out to talk in the way he has talked, he has gotten his findings. Nigerian leaders, they say this Boko Haram, we don't know where they are. These bandits, we don't know where they are. Okay, Donald Trump says, I know where they are. With my lens, I can see them. Then allow me. Nigerians are known for hiding the truth, most especially the leaders that we have. You say there is no Christian genocide. What do you say about what has been happening in Plateau State? What do you say what has been happening in Benue State? Benue State, the thief community per se, and the Idomas. In Benue State, about 90% of them are Christians. We go to church. A significant number of them are shared between the traditionalists and the Muslims. What do you think? What do you think about the massacre that happened at Owo in Ondo State during a Christmas day that the church was invaded and about 300 people were massacred. What do you think about Deborah Samuel in 2022? A student of Federal College of Education, Sokoto, that extremists, Islamic extremists, lynched her up and burned her. What type of heart do you have? What type of heart do you have? By Islamic extremists.
So what you're trying to say?
In Islam, there are various categories of people. There are some people in Islam that are good. All these things that are happening, they don't support it. My mother was a Muslim before she died, Ramatu. She brought me up in school. When I was in school in Ibi Zaria, my roommate was a Muslim, a devout Muslim. Anytime he wanted to pray, I'll go and shut the door so that nobody will come out. If he never wanted to go to the mosque and he wanted to pray, I'll shut the door. And anytime I knelt down and I started praying, he will shut the door. We cohabited peacefully and understandably.
So in other words, what you're trying to say now is that you are in support of the statement Christian genocide exists in Nigeria.
Exponentially.
All right, let me get to Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman is of the Muslim faithful, and of course, he will have a better. He just gave statistics, all right, to show or maybe support Donald Trump's statement that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. Are you of the same opinion?
No, I won't be of the same opinion with him. You know, first and foremost, let us take it from an humanitarian angle. There is no life that's worth being killed. Either you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. And failure to categorize these people unleashing this mayhem on Nigerians as criminal, that is one of the reasons why we always going front and back. If you are a Muslim, in Islam, there is nowhere, either in the Quran or in the Hadith, that asks anybody to kill anybody. Nowhere. And if you see people in this act, don't tag them with one religion. Okay, if we say because they attack a church in Owo, where they were doing their services, their service, what do we call the attack that happened in Sokoto in a mosque, where we could all remember that during the Fajr prayer, the 5 a.m. prayer, these criminals, they went into the mosque and killed people. In Sokoto, the same thing. In 2021, I was in Sokoto to do one project with Action Aid. In Eastern Sokoto, these people ran into a market, broad daylight, and they killed close to 60 people, all in the name that they wanted to cut away food items. In that market, can you identify that this person is a Muslim or this person is a Christian? So, lives, we are talking about life. And when this happens, it equally exposed the failure of our security architecture. And just like a statement that has been credited to Abacha, that if terrorism thrives more than days, it has government hands in it. And you discover that of recent, we equally had that, we read that government officials are sitting down with criminals to negotiate peace pact. Where does this kind thing happens? When somebody is a criminal, is unleashing mayhem on Nigerians, and you are still calling them tagging them with one religion or the other.
All right, so invariably, what you're trying to say is that the killers cannot be said to be Muslim or Islamic terrorists.
Yes. In another point is that the issue of Benue, the almost 80 to 90% of people of Benue are Christians. But you remember that there is this economic crisis that has to do with farmland and elders. So in all this, to now tag it as a Christian genocide, what do we now call those Muslims in Makurdi? What do we call those Muslims in in Sokoto? Even in Kwara, where I come from, majority of people in Sahara are Muslims. This is very recent issue that hundreds of people were killed, not up to 2 months. And up till now, the state government, the state has not come out of that problem.
So what you said, it is not supposed to be called Islamic terrorism.
That is it.
All right, let's get back to Elder right now, Elder Batlomi, as it is. It's obvious that he said they should not be tagged as Islamic terrorists, but they can be called terrorists, right?
Criminals.
Criminals. He said they should be called criminals and not Islamic terrorists. Now, as it is, are you in support of Donald Trump's, of course, saying, all right, Nigeria is a country of concern, apart from saying there is Christian genocide? And he has said you cannot, because you said these are Islamic terrorists. He said you shouldn't use words like that.
Now, let me tell you. In my language, they said, see the child that was killed and see the footprints of the horse that came and passed. Who killed that child? It must be the horse. Now, the Islamic extremists, they say that they are not the ones responsible for the killing, and it is not genocide. But it is very, very clear to us, so all of us Nigerians, we know that there is Sharia law. And you know the implication of Sharia law. Sharia law leads to extrajudicial killing. It happened in Sokoto and it happened in Minna. The law did not carry anything out on it. You don't see any Christian who rising against a fellow Christian of having offended God and want to kill you. You can never see any Christian like that. Apologies to people of the Islamic faith. But when we are saying something, we should be able to convince people that what we are saying is the right thing. In their faith, they say Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And from my understanding, that Allahu Akbar means Allah is great. God is great. What do you mean by saying God is great? Great in what sense?
But is God not great?
I'm
Is God not
coming.
great?
Wait, now I am talking. Is he great in the sense that he is very tall? Is he great in the sense that he is sitting in heaven above? Is he great in the sense that he has all the money in the world? Or he is great in terms of war? If the last one I have said is applicable, then if God is great and can fight war for himself, why do you come up to kill somebody who has attacked God? You call it blasphemy. It is, let me talk, it is operational.
But
in the northern state, the Sharia law, they are the ones doing that. The Christians are not doing that too.
But as it is, but what Donald Trump is saying is not talking about Sharia.
Wait, you
What
are not
is
getting
saying?
my point. You are not getting my point. What I'm trying to say now is not saying that it is not Christian genocide. The Christians are not killing anybody for moving against God. It is the Muslims that are doing that. And they are enforcing it. Of course, if you are in the north, you are in Sokoto, you are in Kano, and you say anything that they tag blasphemy, they will lynch you up. It is happening right now. They will lynch you up. That is the first point I would like you to understand.
Is that part of what Donald Trump didn't talk about that?
Secondly, when Donald Trump say he will call, who are the ones kicking against it? Is it the Christians that are kicking against it? Or is the Muslims?
I think both Christians are Muslims, right?
No, I have not heard of any Christian. Any Christian that is kicking against it must have been bought over. You know, some Christians, they get bought over. I heard of a situation whereby maybe the First Lady gathered some youths who were condemning the coming. Those ones, they are on their own. They are on their own.
But don't you think this is an allegation that, Christians are not kicking against it? Don't you think that is an allegation? Because a lot of people are making statements. How were you able to measure that these people are Muslims that are just condemning Donald Trump's statement?
I am going to bring out hotbeds of the conversations or of the issues that have been on. Gumi was saying that all these terrorists, they shouldn't kill them, that they are protecting us. And of course, Gumi had been in constant dialogue that they should dialogue with them.
Don't you think that's a pathway to peace?
Pathway for what peace? Somebody that is killing people, you go and dialogue with him. Other people will also go and establish that business. They will say it's a lucrative business. Let me also get into it so that they will come and dialogue with me.
But then, let's go.
That is the implication.
Elder, just hold on for a minute.
I'm coming.
Because of our time.
Let me make my point. Again, the head of Islam in Nigeria, Sa'ad Abubakar Sultan, did you hear what he said about Boko Haram? That they shouldn't kill Boko Haram, that Boko Haram are their brothers. You're a journalist, you must have listened to it, that they are their brother. They are brothers in what sense? They are brothers by blood or they are brothers by faith.
All right, hold on for a minute.
If you are my brother by blood and you begin to kill people, I'll disown you.
All right, that's it.
And if you are my brother by faith,
hold it,
and you begin to kill, I will disown you.
All right, Elder.
A Christian cannot kill.
Hold on. So what you're saying now is that Donald Trump is doing the right thing, and you
are very well. I want him even to come tomorrow. Right. If it is possible for him to come tomorrow, I will be very, very happy. I am expecting him, and I am seeing.
But Nigeria is a sovereign state.
I am seeing sovereign. I am seeing the coming, I am seeing the initiative of Donald Trump coming to Nigeria as an answered prayer.
All right, let me get.
And you say, before you go to my neighbor, you said that Nigeria is a sovereign state. Who told you that Nigeria is a sovereign state? Nigeria is a personal state in the pocket of anybody who climbs the office. And they will begin to subvert the sovereignty of individuals. You are also a sovereign person. You have your personal right. When they come to the office, they will begin to interfere with your personal right.
All right, hold on for a minute.
Like Wicked did to this young officer.
Let me get
he
Abdurrahman.
interfered with his personal right. Why are you calling him a fool?
All right, it's okay. Let me get to Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman, it's getting very hot right here. From what he has said,
yeah.
All right, he was making some points, based on his own perspective to the situation, because everyone have different perspective to the situation. Are you agreeing with what he has said?
Yeah, I cannot agree with what the elder statesman has just said. The issue, if we look at it critically and in context, you discover that it is a matter of diplomacy. If you look at the statement of Donald Trump, he made mention of 3 key words. He said Christian genocide. He made mention of the word Christian genocide. He made mention of the war, that he had instructed the Department of War of the United States. And he also said that our cherished Christian. If you look at these 3 words, you discover that even Donald Trump has already taken sides. Okay, he is the president of the United States of America. And from the global view, we look at him as the president of the world. If crisis is happening in a particular place, as the world president, do you need to take a side? Or even if you tell us that you have the data of what has been happening in Nigeria, is it by invading the country is going to be the answer? Is going to be the solution to that problem? Is it not going to trigger, in fact, a multi-dimensional religious war? Yeah, as a global leader, and you are advocating for peace in a particular region, there are diplomatic channels to be exhausted. All of these diplomatic channels are there. It has to go to the Congress. You present it at the Congress.
I think it's in the Congress.
Yeah. Why not wait for the outcome of the Congress, the investigation? Because my Oga said that Trump has every data that concerns Nigeria about the killings. Has he come to the fore to tell us how many Christians that have been killed, or how many Muslims that have been killed? What is he going to do to the lives of Muslims that have been killed by this same criminal?
All right.
Are they not human beings? Is Trump only for Christians? If we are trying to bring about justice, fairness, and peace in a particular boiling region, is invading that country the answer to this problem? So I remain that Donald Trump has already taken sides with Christians, as he called them our cherished Christians. Does that mean that the life of Muslim in America doesn't concern him? Does that mean the life of Muslim in Africa doesn't concern him when it is time to the world are preaching about global peace? Is it war that can end this crisis? Definitely the answer is no.
All right. Definitely, the answer is no. Well, we can't sue for war all the time because it will not solve the problem. As a matter of fact, I wish we have enough time. These are issues. This is just a scratching of the back of this issue. There are so many other angles to this issue that we would have talked about, but then time is not on our side. But don't worry, we will be here next week, Thursday, again to discuss other issues as they unfold. Well, this is where we'll be bringing issues to a close right now. Many thanks for joining us, Abdulrahman.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Elder Bartholomew, for joining us on the program today.
I'm happy for you having me.
All right, everyone out there, this is the size of the conversation. I know you have taken 1 or 2 points out of the discussion. And of course, every opinion and of course, idea of perspective of our guest is theirs, is entirely theirs. And Global Television does not have a contribution to it. Many thanks for joining us once again. The issues written next week of Thursday. Bye-bye for now.